You're on the Bible Forum. I'm Warren Sprouse. We're here every Sunday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. You can join us live in the chat room. We've got some folks in there. They love to torment me if they can. I want to talk to you about coronavirus. So it's in the news. A lot of things going on, and I want to keep you up to date. I've entitled this particular article, "That Chilling Effect You Feel?" Last week, two frontline doctors who said they have administered more than 5,000 coronavirus tests made headlines when they compared the coronavirus to the seasonal flu and called for an end to quarantine practices. Radicals. The two physicians, Dan Erickson, Arten Masih of Accelerated Urgent Care in Bakersfield, California, presented their medical advice in a video briefing at KERO-TV that the news outlet then uploaded to YouTube. After more than 5.46 million views, the video was taken down by YouTube. Seems it violated their terms of service. The terms of service appear to include legal and moral judgments. However, it may simply be a financial issue. YouTube could be sued for what you, me, or in this case the doctors have said. My complaint with YouTube when they did the same thing to me was that only one person complained. And I insisted my comments were not false. They were not evil. They just were not popular. But it didn't matter. YouTube didn't even comment on my comments, and the account was offline for a week with a threat that said, "You do it again, we'll do it again." But these men went a little farther, telling people not to be concerned about coronavirus because we've been there before. And of course we have. Just 2 years ago, 80,000 people died with the flu. The issue here is that this is a very serious thing that's going on. People are dying. However, the federal government stepping all over our rights in order to stop this from happening is not the best idea nor the best solution. It makes me wonder what we will do next year when another virus strikes, or in a couple of years when a virus we've never seen comes on board, or perhaps something worse. We used to go through these things, let nature take its course, come up with an antidote with something that would fix it, and eventually get it under control. This has been entirely unique in the history of the United States. Then there's Bill Gates in China. It seems that Gates has forgotten the Chinese authorities have been lying to the world about the virus since the start of the outbreak late last year in Wuhan. He says, quote, I don't think that's a timely thing because it doesn't affect how we act today. China did a lot of things right at the beginning. Like any country where a virus first shows up, they can look back and see where they missed some things. They censured and reprimanded early whistleblowers who sought to inform the public about the dangers of a novel coronavirus spreading within Wuhan. Healthcare workers were also silenced and citizen journalists went missing. It wasn't until December 31st that China finally reported the virus to the country's World Health Organization office. Officials claimed that the outbreak started in a Wuhan wet market where bats were sold, but it's becoming more and more obvious that the virus accidentally originated in a Wuhan virology lab. Officials claimed for weeks that the virus could not spread between humans, despite very early evidence of human-to-human transmission. For at least 6 key days, they peddled the lies. Even after the virus spread worldwide, the Chinese government continued to lie about the extent of the outbreak within its own country. Officials have gone so far as to blame the United States for the pandemic, claiming the U.S. military developed the virus and infected China and Europe. Almost immediately after the interview, Gates' remarks in defense of China were promoted by Chinese state propagandists. China Daily's European Union bureau chief posted the clip on Twitter, writing, quote, "Bill Gates blasts Trump's blame game on China as a distraction," end of quote. Did I tell you the Bill Gates Foundation is based in China? Did I mention that Bill Gates has been elected to the Chinese Academy of Engineering, China's highest honor in the field of engineering? The Microsoft co-founder, who is 62 years of age, is one of 18 new foreign members, the Academy said on Monday. He's the only one who does not work at a university or research institute. Gates was nominated for his work at TerraPower, a nuclear reactor design company he helped establish in 2008. Oh, and in late 2015, the company signed a deal with China National Nuclear Group to build a reactor unit in Fujian province. The project is scheduled to start next year and will be completed in 2025. They're going to use his plans. The Academy now has 66 foreign academicians. A doctor with the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center is arguing that the actual death rate of COVID-19 is much lower than earlier estimates. And he says his hospital will now begin performing more routine procedures as an anticipated wave of critical coronavirus patients fails to materialize. His name is Donald Yealy, chairman of UPMC's Emergency Medicine Department. He said that the earlier estimates of the disease's fatality rate, which some doctors and organizations guessed would be 4% or higher, appear to have been wildly too high. According to the Pittsburgh Patriot News, Yealy, quote, based that conclusion partly on studies of levels of coronavirus antibodies detected in people in New York and California, and partly on COVID-19 deaths in the Pittsburgh region. The studies cited by Yealy, quote, found that 5 to 20% of people had been exposed to the coronavirus, with many noticing only mild illness or none at all. He said, we've learned that more people, far more people, have actually been exposed to the infection without any knowledge of it. That makes the overall death rate much lower. Many people just didn't feel sick at all and recovered without difficulty. Yealy went on to offer a hypothetical scenario of 3% of Allegheny County residents being exposed, a conservative number compared to the findings of the New York-California studies. That would mean about 36,000 people in Allegheny have been exposed to the coronavirus, with 94 COVID-19 deaths in the county as of Thursday, the last week. It would mean a 0.25% of people exposed to the coronavirus had died. He said there's a big difference between 0.25% mortality and 7%. Yealy said these low numbers justify the medical system's plans to, quote, quickly increase its volume of the non-emergency surgeries that were largely banned to conserve beds and supplies for COVID-19 patients, end of quote. Rachel Sakrowitz, chief medical officer of UPMC's intensive care units, also said during the conference that over 230 coronavirus patients have made a recovery and been discharged from the university's medical centers. This means people are getting better and we're all on the right track. Things you don't hear from the mainstream media are getting a hint of in the president's press conferences, and the country is starting to crawl out from under this weight and try to get back to business. Let's see what happens next time it comes around.